Hero Wars Dominion Era gave us a beautiful social media post just now. Anytime I see Kark relaxing on a couch, wearing some outer space shorts, watching TV, drinking a soda, and relaxing with Lucas, every time they share this photo, I love it. But the post that accompanies this is actually a really good question, especially now that we are firmly in 2025. Who would you pick to create the ultimate winning team? Feel free to share your picks in the comments. Well, it's not Kark. It's okay to level up Kark. He's a great hero, and the right heroes around him, he can have a good chance versus many teams. But there really is only two teams that you need in this game right now, and not without a couple of disclaimers, let's get into it.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero War Central, and in this video, I want to talk to you about the most efficient handful of heroes to level right now, 2025, February, knowing what we know so far about things based on my 6 years of playing this game. Now, I've played a lot of different team variations, from Kark teams to Dante lines to Magic teams to Control teams, all of that. By far, my favorite are Warrior and Control type teams, but those aren't the best teams right now, and a lot of people are trying to save their money. A lot of people are trying to be the most efficient that you can be. The disclaimer that we've got to talk about first is that no matter what team that you build, it will not win on defense. No team is impossible to defeat, okay? So keep that in mind. If you have a amazing attacking team, it's gonna be really easy to get picked apart, and in some cases, easier than others. I talk about this all the time with the flavor of the month, Dante, Orion, Augustus team, which is the first team that we're gonna talk about today. Generally speaking, any team that you're gonna see on defense that doesn't have Isaac and Sebastian in it, the Dante, Nebula, Orion, Gus, and healer lines are going to be your best bet. They're very fast. It's very efficient. It's an expensive team because of the skin stones involved. You have 2 agility heroes and 3 intelligence heroes. The 3 primary heroes that are making up this team, or the front of this team, I should say, Dante, Nebula, Orion, have been in the game forever, and they have a lot of skins. Aiden and Augustus, newer heroes, they don't have all of their skins yet, so it's not too expensive, but you have a large variety of pets that you need to have leveled up: Kain, Albus, Merlin, Axel, Biscuit. You need a lot of different pets for this line, but generally speaking, this is going to be a safe team to level up for basically any attacking line that you can think of, or any defensive line that you can think of that's out there. It's just very fast. Now, it does struggle against 2 types of teams. The first one are going to be the teams with Rufus in them, and the way to beat Rufus is to just go to the end. You can see we'll go for a while here on auto mode, and we'll kill everybody with the exception of Rufus. The nature of Gus and Orion converting all magic damage to pure damage, magic damage and pure damage doesn't kill Rufus, so you really need Morgan or a lot of physical damage to kill Rufus, to finish him off, as it were. And Nebula and Dante are really good. You just got to switch it over to manual mode. So here at the end, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing it. I need to switch this. I switched it off speed up, and I switched it over into manual mode. And it took me a couple of tries of timing, but between Nebula's attack boost, her ultimate, and Dante's ultimate, I was eventually able to kill this Rufus. So you got to be mindful of that. I could have just swapped in Morgan for Nebula here, but I'm not talking about leveling up a ton of extra heroes. And in this team right here, in this instance right here, I used Dorian. I actually prefer the Aiden version of this, and I'm going to talk about why in just a second. But the big problem with this team is that it is easily countered with one of the most popular set of heroes out there, and we'll talk about this in just a second. Kind of the third team that you have to level. There's really like 1.5 teams that you need to level right now, but there's a third team that you need to level as well. But any team that's got Isaac and Sebastian on it is gonna give you struggle. It's gonna give a little bit of difficulty. So having this team on defense is an auto loss if the attacking player has leveled up any of the Ashe team at all. The primary City of Asgard Ashe Lang team contains Isaac and Sebastian. These 2 heroes, Isaac with Axel, Sebastian on with Oliver. A decent tank, really any tank will work. I like to use Heidi and Dorian, although the healer and the other damage dealer doesn't really matter as much. most variations of this, no matter what, you know, sometimes there's going to be some pet issues here and there, are going to auto win versus the Orion Gus variations. and it really just isn't even close. A lot of people are going to say, well, that it doesn't work for me. You just got to have the right pets on Isaac and Sebastian. If you have Axel and Oliver respectively, it's really kind of a non-issue. So let's say that your only team that you have leveled up is the Dante, Nebula, Orion, Augustus, and this has got Jet. I guess I was trying Jet on there. If you're trying to only have one team leveled up, then you're obviously going to struggle against some options, but that's okay. That's the nature of Hero Wars. The longer the game goes, they introduce new heroes, they introduce new flags, they introduce new pets. Team meta changes. You have to continually evolve. You have to continually level up new heroes to keep your team relevant. Kark teams, for example, they have to switch to a more aggressive playstyle because heavy armor teams, heavy dodge teams really counter Kark teams. So if I want to keep my Kark teams relevant, I have to level up the right heroes, and unfortunately those heroes don't exist yet, but they will this year. Just you wait and see. So anytime you come across such a team on defense, a team that contains Isaac and Sebastian on defense, because obviously the team that you put on defense doesn't matter, because you have to assume that the people attacking into you has every option available to them. It's not always going to be the case that you're going to be going up against players that have every option available to them, but such a niche team, the Dante, Nebula, Orion, Augustus healer teams, those are so easily countered with 2 or 3 of the most popular heroes in the game right now, Isaac and Sebastian, that you got to assume that most players are going to have those heroes. So you want to have an alternative. This is kind of what I've come up with as far as an inexpensive alternative team. You can try this on defense, you can try this on offense, especially when you come up against such a Isaac Sebastian team. What I've done here is I've added in I've dropped the mage damage core Orion and Augustus. I've dropped them out of this team in favor of Sebastian and Lara. Now, chances are you've already got Sebastian leveled up or are leveling up Sebastian for the Osh team, for the Maestro team, for general purpose usage, and hopefully you have Lara Croft. If you don't have Lara Croft, there's a lot of other varieties of heroes that will work very well in this instance. And this is actually why I like to use Aiden in the Augustus Orion teams instead of Dorian, though either works. Jet works in that team. Martha works in that team. Thea actually works in that Gus Orion team very well. I just like to use Aiden, and I think Aiden's a top 3 healer in the game right now. By the way, Aiden, Dorian, Martha are my top 3 healer heroes to level in 2025. Using this style of aggressive blender team, you're going to mow through anybody that's got Isaac and Sebastian on defense. Now, the problem with Isaac and Sebastian, super popular heroes, most everybody has them leveled up, but if I'm attacking into Isaac and Sebastian and I don't have any magic damage, Isaac is worthless, okay? Isaac is absolutely worthless because all he does is charge when his team gets hit with magic damage. He doesn't charge from any other means, just his basic auto attack and from magic damage. You can see my team on the left, no magic damage at all. Sebastian blocks control effects. However, Lara Croft will get her stun out before Sebastian can throw up his Ode to Serenity. It's going to happen. It happens almost every single time. Well, I guess because Dante charged up Sebastian so much there that it didn't happen. Regardless, not having any control effects on my team, with the exception of Lara Croft's stun, the damage output that she provides to Dante from Nebula, Sebastian, all of that, you're going to have a really, really good time against Sebastian Isaac teams using a blender physical attacking team like this. And all you have to do is swap out your Mage Core, Orion, Augustus, with Sebastian and Lara. And again, if you don't have Lara Croft because you weren't playing when Lara Croft was available, then you can use a number of other physical damage dealers. Just pick one that boosts Dante's damage output. You can use a hero like, I don't know, you could use Jet, you can use Fafnir. There's a lot of different varieties that you can add in there. Now, Martha puts on a good show of sticking around for a little while, but, it's only a matter of time before we break through that armor artifact, before we break through that Axel. Without a third bonus, well, I guess a 4th bonus damage for Dante. Really, the Qing Mao version is better in this instance. Qing Mao instead of Dante is a lot better. Like if we swapped out Dante for Qing Mao, this one's a lot faster. I'm just going to show you real quick. I don't want you to do this because this is leveling up an additional physical damage dealer, an additional dodge physical damage dealer. You can if you want, but I'm really trying to avoid, leveling up additional heroes for this. The Dante team works just fine, but Qing Mao is way faster Qingmao's way faster in these blender styles of teams. Just a much stronger line. Generally speaking, attacking with the mage team, Augustus Orion, is going to be great against almost every single line. What I really like about this team is this is a prime example of somebody that took the strategy of leveling up the Ashe team first. And this is kind of the third team that I was mentioning, that I've mentioned a couple of times now already in this video. The other strategy that you could go about for leveling up your teams, leveling up your heroes, is leveling up the heroes that are good for Ashe and Maestro in the City of Asgard, those big boss fights that you have every single weekend. I got videos on screen now breaking down those teams and the teams that you want to use versus those players. This is the #1 team that a lot of players are going to be using first if they're building up for Ashe. So you're going to see this team a lot on defense. Just using the blender attacking team is going to be the way to chew through it really fast. So let me know in the comment section down below which team is the best team for you. Is it a Kark team? Is it a Thea team? By the way, there's a Thea Helios team that counters Augustus Orion Dorian as well. So we'll talk about that in today's live stream, 12 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. UTC. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.